Hey wonderful made family, in this video I want to share with you 3 things that will challenge and test your character. And if you don't look after yourself properly, if you don't protect yourself against these 3 things, they will lead to your downfall and your destruction. So let's look into them and see how we can pray for God and ask God to guide us, so even when we have access to them, they will not destroy us, and God will help us to stay humble even when we have them. So my number 1 is, guess what? What's my number 1? Yes, my number 1 is power. Human beings, since the beginning, we struggle with the concept or idea of having a lot of power. You know, we see in our politics out there, we have people who is very humble before going into politics, before having control of our country. But once they have control of our country, they start displaying who they are. They start doing things that go completely against to the policy, against the country, and against the interest of people who elected them. But not just now, even back then, before, in the earliest day, we have King Saul, which is a clear example of how power will help to display your character. King Saul was a very humble man, so to say, very humble man, and his son led many battles against God's enemy, and they won almost all of them. One of the biggest one was battle against Philistine. King Saul won the battle with his son, and that led King Saul to be appointed as the king of the nation. He was the first king of the nation. But after King Saul being appointed, he started tasting and understanding how much power he had and what he could get away with it. Then King Saul started pushing the boundary. King Saul got to the point that he thought himself to be above and beyond everyone, including God himself. He thought that he knew better than God. And everyone who was trying to call King Saul attention, called to King Saul to tell him that he was doing things that was not the right in the eyes of the God, and it was going against the nation, King Saul was not right. King Saul was not happy with them, including the priest. King Saul decided to execute the priest and all his family, because the priest just was telling him that what he was doing was not right. So King Saul was paranoid with the power, and he decided to eliminate everyone who was against him because he had the power. That led to his downfall. And King Saul had the opportunity to be one of the best kings that we could read from the Bible. But King Saul was replaced because he allowed power. He used power in the wrong way. So whenever you have access to power, remember, you're there to do the right things, not use that in your advantage. My number 2 is money. You probably heard about this. Money is like mirror. He just reflects what is inside of you. So there's nothing wrong with having money. I believe there's nothing wrong with having money. Even Bible back me. Bible says the love of money, not the money itself. So having money is not issue. But when you love money instead of loving God, and when you place money in front of your family, in front of the value, in front of the good things, that's when the issue started. Money is like a mirror. Money just reflects what is inside of you. You give a man or a woman money, they start displaying themselves. They start becoming arrogant. No, let me just make it very clear. They don't start to become arrogant. They start to display the arrogancy that is inside of them. So money is not an issue. Money just displays what is inside of you. So if you're a good person with money, you do better things. You become a better person. But if you're a bad person, when you get money, you become a worse person. You start doing things that not only destroy you, but destroy everyone around you. And my number 3 is, guess what? Access to sex. Yes, when I was doing my research to write a script for this video, why access to sex is number 3. Yes, it is number 3. You know, we see in many circumstances, when you give someone access to sex without being mentally prepared, they start using sex in the wrong way. God created sex to our pleasure and the procreation. So that's the 2 reasons God created sex: for our pleasure and the procreation. Or let me put this very clear: for procreation and our pleasure. But right now, if you walk down in our street, you will see a lot of people, young women, selling the body for money, using sex for business, as a business, instead of using it for procreation. Let me just make this very clear. It's not just a young woman. People of all gender, all age, all background are involved in sex trade, which is completely against what God has created us to do. And not just that, we see many people who allow the internal issue take over, and then because of pleasure to do sex, they do things that I cannot even mention in this video. So this is the 3 things. Always remember the 3 things that challenge your faith, challenge your character, challenge your humanity. The first one is power, the second one is money, and the third one is access to sex. Wonderful made family, I just want to share this with you and let you know that please all the time pray for God to protect you. When you have access to power, you still being the good person, doing the right thing. Or even when you have access to money, when you become rich, you still placing money where money belongs, and the placing God where God belongs, and the placing love and the value where each one of them belong to. You know, thank you for being part of this movement. Thanks for being part of this family. I hope I see you in the next video.